Hello everybody and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Last video we went ahead and we explored a little bit of Castle Town, and now we're going to try and find Rutella's son here in the area. So we need to go into Talma's bar now that we're a human again. That is a Zora child. This is beyond my expertise. Reminds me of the guy from Ocarina of Time, who was at Hyrule. Doctor, wait! If something isn't done, this child will... Well, this isn't good. A human doctor won't do, huh? Aww. That old coot reminded me, though. I've heard of a shaman in Kakariko village, in the Elden Lands, who tended Gorons and Zoras. Is that true? Perhaps if we take him there. Inadvisable! Too dangerous! But we can't turn a blind eye to a pretty girl in need, either. Yes, we'd better escort you. Am I right, boys? Well, isn't that nice? To reach Kakariko, we've got to cross two plains that are each infested by dangerous beasts. But we'll be safe now. Or not. Cowards, don't ever show your faces here again. Oh my. Looks like we've got one young swordsman left. And not only that, but it looks like this brave young man will escort us, so get ready to go, honey, pronto. Oh man, I need to work on my southern accent. I just can't get it right. I don't know why. You know that girl, don't you? Yeah, what's wrong with her? It's a real shame. She can't even remember her own name right now. Oh, that's so heartbreaking. Bless her heart. She found this poor boy collapsed in the road, so she did all she could to save him. Now I'm doing like a English accent. What the hell? More courage in that girl than in all the soldiers of Hyrule, for sure. You lend your strength to her. You hear me? Yeah, for some reason that lady just seems like she would have a southern accent. That's just me, though. So you say the bridge to the east has been destroyed, huh? Then our only option is to cross the bridge to the west. Because the other bridge was completely destroyed by shadow beings, so that's wonderful. You see what that means? You'll have to deal with that thing. Thing. Oh, I'm offending so many people right now. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for this. If you don't mind me asking, what's your name? Oh, that makes everything so much sadder. She doesn't remember who we are at all. Link. I will never in all my life forget your kindness, Link. Little lady, I think you'd best save your thanks until we're safe in Kakariko. This swordsman of ours has great eyes, honey. They're proud and wild, like a feral beast. We need a beast right now to keep the true ones at bay. If we make it to Kakariko safely, we'll just thank him then, okay? Did that rhyme, or did I just make it rhyme with my stupid accent? Aren't I a little young for you? You ready to roll, Link? You've got to protect these young ones on the way to Kakariko. Alright, so this is actually an escort mission. You're going to need two things for this. You're going to need definitely your Gale Boomerang and your arrows if you'd like to. And the purple path is where we need to escort the carriage. You need to make sure that these guys stay safe. Right now we don't really have to do a whole lot of escorting. There's no enemies around, so I'm going to go ahead and ride ahead. And then we need to clear the bridge out for them. So as long as you follow the purple path and make sure that they're not in any danger, this is actually pretty easy, so... Alright, so it's the guy who had Colin earlier, except he's got shields this time, so we will not be able to use the side slash attack. It's your turn, honey. We're counting on you. Alright, so this is where you need arrows. Because you can't hit him on the sides, you're going to need to go ahead and hit him with an arrow. Your sword will do no good. So, I think you only need to hit him twice. So, let's go ahead and watch his pattern and just hit him. Pretty simple stuff, really. And unfortunately, this poor guy will get tossed over the edge again. He's got like the worst luck. If it was the same guy, that is. But anyways, we got the gate keys. These keys open the gates along the path to Kakariko. Wonderful. That's exactly what we needed. Alright. Nice, honey. Keep up the good work. Alright. Let's keep on going then. Alright, so this is where enemies start to come in. Usually what I like to do, I just kind of like to keep by them, really. And watch out for any enemies that appear behind them. If the wagon catches on fire, because you're going to get enemies that are going to shoot fire arrows at them, that's what your Gale Boomerang is for. The wind will put out the flame. And you can then, of course, keep the carriage safe. So you can't really do much about these goblins. Of course, you can go ahead and you can probably try and hit them with your arrows, but it's not really worth it. You can see that they caught on fire, and all I had to do is just kind of put it out with my boomerang. No big deal. You gotta watch the meter, though, because if the meter goes down, obviously then they're in trouble. So, we gotta get off our horse, open the first gate for them, and then they don't really give us any time to get back on our horse, so you gotta kind of keep up. Because on the wide open field is when you're going to start to get a lot of the enemies. And you got to keep the carriage safe, because if the horse gets spooked, then the carriage will go in all sorts of crazy random directions. So, of course, you can also use your sword for this. You don't have to use your arrow. It might actually be easier to use your sword, because then what you can do is you can stay beside the enemies instead of falling like really far behind. So it's completely up to you. And then they tend to miss a lot too. Their aim isn't perfect or anything, but you can see, I can go ahead and try to hit them with an arrow or with my sword, you know, whatever works best for me. But these guys are pretty good. They stay on a pretty good path, and you don't really have a huge ambush of enemies that's like absolutely ridiculous and, you know, super hard to defend them or anything, so. Of course, there's going to be more of them. There's not really much to this. It's kind of interesting, though. I kind of like that they put this in the game. It kind of just seemed like kind of an interesting sort of feature. It's not like, oh, we're just going to instantly teleport to Kakariko. You know, it was like they actually did something. I need to open up the gate, and they're going to let the carriage on fire, so get you guys away from there, get the fire out. I think that's all of it, yes. And then open up the gate, and we are pretty much home free, so overall, I mean, not a perfect run by any means, but it got the job done. He has passed through the worst of it. As long as he rests, he should recover in due time. Oh, well, that's good to hear. Do you know the fate of his mother? Her welfare consumes him. He has been mumbling deliriously about her almost constantly. Aww. And then Link's like, yeah, she didn't make it. I can see the knowledge aggrieves you. It must be an awful memory. I'll stay with him until he's better, no matter how long it takes. Aw, Colin. Is that so? Thank you, Colin. And of course, Ilya is now safe. Well, she was safe before, but now she's with the rest of the kids, so that's pretty cool. They're all in one place now. Hey, Link, about Ilya. Is it true what they said about her? Yes, she has lost her memory, Colin, and regaining it will be no simple task. But it will be alright, child. If we just give her some time, I am certain that Ilya will find her heart again. She's looking for her memory, not her heart, but anyways. So Colin, I'd like to ask you to stay in this village until then. It is our turn to show the courage that you have already displayed. Aww. Nice to see there's still hope here, and it's always good to see happy results repay your efforts. Those skills of yours, any chance you're of the mind to put them to use for Hyrule? I already am. What hope there is, and our kingdom is frail and dying, but there's still a group trying to do what it can. And I'm a member of that group. Call me Talma. If you couldn't guess, Talma's bar, Talma, obviously. Bit of a cougar. I may just stay here a bit longer. I'm still worried about Ilya and, well, never mind about the rest. Bow, chicka, wow, wow. Link, I want to see you again at my bar. You hear me? As long as you don't hit on me. The bar is actually a kind of safe house for my friends. There's a passageway that leads to the castle from in there as well. That's convenient. If you ever need anything, stop by. I'll be waiting for you, honey. Alright. Well then. Our work here is done, it looks like. Ah, and there's Rutella. And it looks like because we've done what she asked us to do, she's going to actually fulfill her end of the promise, and this is how we're going to actually get into the temple. We need to be able to breathe underwater, and hopefully she's going to help us with that. So let's just follow her. And hopefully she leads us somewhere useful. Graveyard, very suiting, seeing as how she's passed away, unfortunately. But her son's safe. And hopefully he recovers. Alright. Keep on going. Interesting sort of hidden secret area. So gorgeous at night. Ugh. Alright, so she's beckoning us. This is a tombstone. I don't see any treasure here. Tell me more, please. I am deeply grateful to you for aiding my son in his time of need. You were right to bring him here. Kakariko village is a sacred place for the Zora people. It is where we take our eternal rest. My husband in life, King Zora, also rests his spirit here. It is no coincidence my son found his salvation in this place. That which I have promised you is within this grave. During his lifetime, my husband created garments specifically for the chosen hero, garments that house the abilities of the Zora. Oh, interesting. So there it is. That's an interesting looking set of garb we've got. This is the Zora armor. This special garment was handed down through the Zora royal family. If you have it equipped, you can move freely through the water, but you will be more vulnerable to fire and ice attacks, so keep that in mind, of course. Now at last I can join the king in slumber. And yet, my son, he still knows nothing of my death. If you see him again, please pass on this message. Tell him he must not grieve his mother's passing. Tell him she wanted him to be brave and live on as the king of our people. And tell him his mother loves him without end. Tell him. Well, hopefully when he recovers we can tell him just that. Well, it's a good thing you found all your friends and picked up that nifty Zora armor. But aren't you forgetting something kind of important? That last fused shadow. Remember what Fair and the Light Spirit said? He said you would need that fused shadows to defeat the Dark Overlord Zand and save the world. So even if you go back now with all the people you saved, the whole tragedy would just repeat itself. So let's go get it. We need to go to the temple on the lake bed of Lake Hylia. Alright, so that is going to be about it for this episode. Next time we'll probably do a little bit of side questing before we head to that god-awful dungeon. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.